What's up, guys? Good to see you. So many of you started the Keto Cycle program with me, and I could not be more excited. This is going to be an epic journey together. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. We are definitely in this together. So listen, I really quickly just wanted to say congrats on making the decision to improve your life. You have potential, and your decision to start this program says that you are willing to do whatever it takes to reach that full potential. Now listen, I've gotten messages from all different types of people that weigh over 300 pounds, pre-diabetic people, busy business people that just want a diet that's going to work for them. I promise you this is going to be absolutely great for you. And like I have said plenty of times before, you're not helpless, okay? And just because you haven't succeeded in the past with trying to lose weight or diet or anything like that does not mean that you will not succeed in the future. Trust me, this is an entirely different strategy. Forget about willpower. You have the willpower. Perhaps you just didn't have the right strategy, okay? Be willing to jump in 100% with this new strategy, and you gotta believe and you gotta have faith that this is going to work for you. The most important thing here, guys, is that you have belief in yourself, okay? You have to have 100% confidence that A, you are worth it and that you deserve this, and B, that you have what it takes to make this dream come true, okay? You have to be able to visualize yourself. Visualization is critical. You have to be able to see yourself reaching your goal, and you have to believe it 100%. Now, you also have to visualize the obstacles that are going to be facing you through this journey, okay? You have to be able to see them coming so that you can mentally prepare for them when they do come. Trust me, they're coming. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, "Victory belongs to those who persevere." I go through challenges all the time. Perseverance is what gets me through. That's what builds character. That's what builds progress. It's necessary. So when the challenges come, you just have to keep pushing through, guys. Now also understand something. You have to have a strong why. Why are you doing this? Why did you make the decision to start this program? Why on earth do you want to change your life? That is very important, because when these obstacles come, and trust me, like I said, they're coming, you have to go back to what your why is. You have to remind yourself why this is important to you, because that's going to give you the courage that you need to push through that obstacle. Let me just also say this. Your why has to be within. You cannot do this for somebody else. It just never, ever works. You have to do this for yourself. And trust me, if you're able to improve your life, make yourself more confident, get progress, get results, it will affect the other people in your life. They will see it, they will notice it. So really, just by doing it for yourself, you're also doing it for other people too. There's this concept called learned helplessness that I found out about when I was training kids with mental illness. One of the doctors was explaining why so many of these kids, seem to be helpless. Now keep in mind, these kids had severe mental disorders like, severe bipolar, severe depression. Many of them tried to kill themselves. They're schizophrenic, they were cutters. You name it, these kids had it. The ultimate challenges these people faced. And the doctor was explaining to me that they have something called learned helplessness. So I was like, what is learned helplessness? Essentially, it's life has beaten you down so much and you face so many obstacles that you've just kind of learned to be helpless and you see no way out. Now, this explanation that he told me is kind of graphic and a little bit disturbing, but it does explain exactly what it means. So scientists a long time ago, they did a study. They put dogs on one side of the crate, and then they had an open side of the crate on this side separated by a fence, okay? This side of the crate that the dogs were on had a floor that would send shocks up, and it would shock the dogs. This side of the floor had nothing on it at all. They were separated by a barrier. So they would shock these dogs over and over and over again, and it caused trauma to the dogs. It caused stress. They obviously didn't like it whatsoever. Eventually, they took the partition down about halfway to where these dogs could have easily just jumped over to the side and prevent themselves from getting shocked. But unfortunately, what happened was the dogs just kept getting shocked, and they didn't take the way out. They didn't see the opportunity that all they had to do was just jump over the damn fence to stop getting shocked. They had learned to be helpless, okay? They just figured there was no way out, and their destiny was doomed, and that was it. So that profoundly changed the way I think about myself and about other people. You cannot be helpless, guys. There is hope for you. And just because you made the decision to do this program or any program, even if you're watching this right now and you're not doing Keto Cycle and you're actively trying to help yourself, you've jumped over the fence. Okay, that's important. You've jumped over the fence. You've seen opportunity. You're willing to do whatever it takes to get yourself out of the situation that's causing you stress. So be proud of that, guys. The first step in your journey is what's called the keto adaptation phase, okay? If you're doing the keto cycle, no matter which cycle you choose, whether it's the short cycle, the long cycle, or the super cycle, you must take yourself through this phase first. Now listen, the keto adaptation phase is like mental and physical warfare. Understand something, guys. You are doing something completely different. You're doing something that goes against everything you've ever learned before. You've been taught that fat makes you fat and that you have to avoid it at all costs. Now all of a sudden 75% of your calories are coming from fat. You're doing things like putting butter in your coffee, eating fatty steaks and things like that. It can be mind-blowing, to say the least. The other element is you're going to want to run out and tell people what you're doing, and they're going to think you're freaking nuts. Trust me, I know personally. Everybody that I told what diet I was doing thought I was absolutely crazy. They're like, dude, your career is going to be over. You're going to have a heart attack and die. Forget about it. I kept pushing through. Obviously, it worked out great for me, and life has never been better, so just be prepared for that. Now, physiologically, here's what's happening in these first few days of this phase. Now listen, you have been running on carbs your entire life, okay? And carbs essentially are like drugs. They actually stimulate the same part of your brain as cocaine and other narcotics called the reward center. So essentially, you're checking your ass into rehab, okay? This is rehab. And listen, when you pull these carbs away from your body is gonna fight you back like hell. Trust me. Now, it could be for one day, it could be for 3 days, it could be for 1 week, it could be for 2 weeks. It all depends on your body type and who you are and how well you stick with the plan. Now, eventually, your body will switch metabolisms to burning fat. Here's what happens. You have stored carbohydrates in your body. It's called glycogen. I compare it to a glycogen gas tank, right? Now listen, as you work out, as you go throughout your daily business, as you restrict carbohydrates and prevent insulin from secreting, your body is able to start burning off that stored glycogen, and the tank goes down and down and down and down and down. Once it gets to the bottom, eventually your body's going to say, okay, forget about it, we give up. We're obviously not going to be able to run on carbs anymore. Let's start burning all of this fat and turning it into ketones. Your body then switches over into ketosis. It switches metabolisms completely. Now, as the fat leaves the cell, it goes to your liver. The liver then takes that fatty acid and turns it into what are called ketones. These ketones are now fueling your body. They go to your brain, your muscles. Every organ in your body is now using ketones for energy. You are now burning and running on fat, guys. Also, here's the other thing. You can see when you are in ketosis, unlike carbohydrates, your body does not store ketones. It uses what it has to and then flushes the excess through your urine and through your breath. You can go out and you can buy ketone strip tests at any major pharmacy out there. You can pee on them. If they turn any color red, that's indicating that your body is mobilizing fat and burning ketones, okay? Now also, there's other methods you can use. They're much more expensive. You can do blood tests. You can also do breathalyzer tests, but I suggest going out and just getting the ketone strip tests. I'll talk more about these in the future. So, the most important part is just staying strong mentally, guys. You have to focus on what you can have and what you can't have. Before I started the ketogenic diet, I cut carbs, and I was a carb cutter for 3 years, and all I thought about was cutting carbs. I saw carbs everywhere, and it was like the enemy was all over the place. Everywhere I turned, the enemy was there. You gotta think different. Eventually, you have to just say to yourself, I gotta focus on fat, because that's what you're running on, is fat. So find the fat. Forget about your fat phobia, okay? Fat does not cause heart disease. It does not cause cardiovascular disease. Saturated fat has absolutely nothing to do with heart disease. You need to find and eat fat. So when you go to the grocery store, instead of looking around and saying, I got to avoid these carbs. Oh my God, there's chips. Oh my God, there's donuts. You got to be walking into that grocery store and you got to be saying to yourself, where's the fat? Where's the butter? Where's the avocado? Where's the salmon? I'm going to get 80-20 ground beef instead of ground turkey. Forget about the chicken. I'm going to get steak. You have to be starting to think and train yourself like this. That's very, very, very important. You are going to have what it takes to succeed, guys. Just keep believing in yourself. If you get what's called Keto Flu, I have things in the program that'll help you get through that, alleviate a lot of those symptoms. Do not panic. If you do get the Keto Flu, it will be your most challenging time. Also, sometimes Keto Flu lasts a day, up to 3 days, up to 4 days, but trust me, that's just the process of you burning off all those carbs. Eventually it will go away. Focus on things like electrolytes, hitting your macros, making sure that you're getting enough fat, make sure you're not going over on your protein, make sure you're not going over on your carbs. All of these things will help you get through that phase. You just have to stay mentally strong. You just have to keep believing this phase will be over. Once it is, it's ready to rock and roll time, man. You're in the clear, and next thing you know, you're gonna be walking up to people like, yo, I just started eating all this fat. I feel amazing. You should definitely try the keto cycle. You should try the ketogenic diet. It's awesome. You know, and people are gonna see your results. They're gonna be like, interesting. It's just, give it time, guys. It's a journey. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle, okay? So that's it. I'm definitely going to be coming out with much more videos to help you guys out. I'm super excited to be on this journey with you. Much love and God bless.